What's up, everybody? It is me, Nathan, and welcome to my top 10 list for my favorite moments in gaming. Here we go. Number 10, minigames. There are a lot of games out there with minigames, and there are games dedicated to minigames, like Mario Party and Sonic Shuffle. Even though Sonic Shuffle is such a piece of shit, it still has minigames. Anyways, one of my favorite moments in video games is a minigame, and the minigames are littered in Red Dead Redemption, like the 5-finger fillet, card games, and shooting birds. Anyways, when people mention video games, Super Mario 64 isn't usually mentioned, and it is probably one of my most nostalgic games. For in Cool Mountain, you go down the slide, and believe me, it is hard, and if you make it through, you get a star, and that is why minigames is on number 10. Number 9. Doing harm to others. In video games, you can do things that you can't do in real life, like running over and shooting people in GTA, or Postal 2, where you can kill pretty much anybody in your path. Postal 2 has to be one of the most gruesome and graphic games of all time, and where you can just go around and shoot civilians and kill them. Same goes to GTA, except it's just more strict. Number 8. In most video games, you can power up. From maybe, for example, the Master Sword in Ocarina of Time, the Fire Plant in Super Mario Bros., Spread Gun in Contra, Super Sonic in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it goes on and on and on. And that's just to name a few. Number 7. Creativity. Most people don't know about the game Tropico. In this game, you play as technically a president of your own island, and you have to take care of people like The Sims, except you're the president. It's amazing. In the game, you can be capitalist or communist, and you really have to use your brain in the game. And there's also electoral college, and if you don't get elected, the game is over. This game is rather obscure, and the only way I found it was at my local Goodwill. But I do recommend that you buy this game on Amazon or eBay. It is a huge recommendation. Number 6. Endings. You know what? I'm not going to show you any endings because of spoilers, or YouTube cannot monetize my video, or I'll just get a copyright strike, so I don't want to risk it. Yeah, on to number 5 now. Number 5, using your imagination. The video game system that I think uses the most imagination would be the Atari 2600. I mean, look at these titles. There is Barnstorming, Yar's Revenge, Star Voyager, Keystone Capers, Adventure, Venture, and much more. In the aspect of the Atari, you really have to use your brain to the test, and sometimes just guess what's happening in the game. One of the hardest instances would be Sword Quest. That game is full of imagery that you have to guess what it is, and then there is Raiders of the Lost Ark, but that's a whole other story. Number 4, challenge. Difficulty is fun in video games, and sometimes it's too much, though. Like, sometimes too much difficulty can be packaged with old NES games, such as Ninja Gaiden and Battletoads, which those games will push you down to the trope of difficulty so hard you won't know what hit you. Not everybody has beaten Ninja Gaiden who owns the game. With all the time you have to put on your hands in Battletoads, it's a subject of debate how many people have beaten that game. With or without cheats, mostly on GameFAQs, there was wide debate, and well, I can't say for sure how many people have beaten it. In my analogy, I see difficulty as great, for it makes you react quickly, and I see challenge as too much difficulty, sometimes to the point of insanity. That's my analogy for challenge. Anyways, moving on. Number 3. Cutscenes. I'm not going to show you any cutscenes of any game because of YouTube's copyright system, but yeah, search for cutscenes on YouTube and watch them. I just don't want to risk this video not getting monetized due to copyright. Number 2. Music. I had to put music on number 2, and some of you may disagree with me. But in games like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, any Zelda game, Donkey Kong Country, Star Fox, and the list goes on and on and on. In video games, music increases the nature of the story, characters, theme, and much more. And that's why music is my number 2 pick. And the number 1 pick is... Wait. I forgot my number 1 pick. Where is it? Wait, what's that noise? Chris Boers, the irate gamer? Hello?
Yes, is this Nathan from the Phantom Gamer Stone?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's me. Chris Boers, the irate gamer.
Chris Boers? How'd you get my number?
Well, I saw you're doing a top 10 list on your blog spot, and I thought, well, heck, I'm the guy that should finish it.
Okay, well, Chris, finish my top 10 list for me.
Alright, well, let's get down to business. The number one favorite thing in video games, well, retro video games anyway, are Easter eggs. Finding an Easter egg in a video game is always iconic, and who can forget the funny things like the Toasty from Mortal Kombat, as well as finding the hidden warp pipes in the Super Mario Bros. Game. It's these little moments that make these games so iconic. And that wraps up the list, so until next time, game on!